coming to you every week from no place in particular. It's the best, worst thing you've never seen. This is the Forever Road Podcast featuring Bosco. Find us on some great platforms like iHeart, Spotify, and even more as we keep growing. Now, pointed down that forever road, he's a music lover, a historian, and a connoisseur of the obscure. It's Bosco, here on the Forever Road Podcast.
Well, is that better? Nah, I just kicked off, man. Just kicked off just a few minutes. Hey, Tyler, thank you. Thank you. Um, I didn't realize, man, I went on this whole thing and then realized that my microphone was turned off. But anyway, we're here. Happy Mother's Day. I'll go ahead and do this again. Happy Mother's Day out there to all the moms. Happy Mother's Day out there to the stepmoms or the bonus moms, however you look at it. It does take a lot, even to the single dads. I'll say that if the mom or whoever girlfriend ain't in the picture as well. But to the moms, thank you for everything that you put up with us. Thank you for the bonus moms, just add that little extra love to those kids whose mom is either in the picture and you're just adding that much more, or not in the picture at all, and you've taken those reins and taken that helm to help show love and support these kids as they're growing up and developing and making mistakes and doing all the dumb shit that we kids do as we're growing up. Hang on one second. But it does speak a lot for those that step in that gap. And I'll say this: a very special Happy Mother's Day, 2 in a row. Second year. To my daughter-in-law, the mother of my grandbaby, and my grandson Jeremiah, and my to my other daughter, Kiri, and my granddaughter Reggie. So yeah, thank you, girls, for all you do. Y'all doing a fantastic job. Let's see. So today we're going to cover a little bit of update on Turtle. I need to reach out to him because he forgot to text me what he wanted me to talk about. Hang on real quick. I'll text him right now and see what he says. What do you want me to talk about? Live now. Yeah, I ran a little bit late today because honestly, I had a long night and I kind of slept. I woke up this morning, kind of did some things around the house a little bit, and I sat back down and I woke up and it was about 1 o'clock. I said, all right, if I don't get up and get moving, I'm not going to be able to get done what I have to do before I get to go live. And this is kind of phoning it in. I'm not going to lie, because I didn't do hardly any research for today's episode. I've been busy. I got a big, gosh. So I had a real estate lady come over here yesterday, and she basically told me that, and just to summarize, it just seemed like she wasn't interested in helping me out. That's how I took it. Maybe I'm wrong. She said it'll take another month of cleaning and preparing and painting and doing all this other jazz to get the house ready to sell. She says I'm not ready to sell, but I feel like I'm ready to sell. There again, I'm not sure where I'm going to go. I have family all over, from here all the way to Texas, and 2 brothers up in Canada, with Tyler and Craig. But I'm good with cold weather, brothers. But I don't. That's one of the main reasons why I didn't go to Montana. I've been waiting on this thing to come through with my company that I work for currently, to get me to another location. Thought that was going to pan out, but yeah, I hadn't heard word yet. I kind of want to go north up in the Tennessee mountain area, northern tip of Georgia, in the mountain area. I'm sure I could find a job up there. I mean, I'm a mechanic. Let's get real. Not the world's fastest mechanic. I'm not gonna lie. I don't rush in there and make these brash decisions on stuff that's going on. I take my time. I analyze everything and make sure I get the job done right. That's just, why do it if you're not going to do it right? But anyway, so the lady came over here. She said it was going to take another month of me cleaning and painting and chopping, cutting, rebuild, blah, 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 blah. And I need to get rid of everything in my house. And I'm like, well, I got to figure out where I'm going to put it. So it's going to be another month. I'm going to move all this stuff into a storage unit, take everything completely out of the house, except for my bed, my TV, this right here, And I'll probably move into this room here. Put my bed right over there. Put my TV behind us with the game and all that. Be good to go, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So that's where I'm at as far as the house and all that. As far as Forever Road Podcast Studios, coming to you live from nowhere in particular. The update on Brother Turtle is as it is right now. Um, he is going to go to Atlanta tomorrow morning. Go get checked in at the VA up there. Well, he and I talked about a lot of things that was going on at the hospital he was in, but I'll let him talk about that part. That's he was dealing with it. I wasn't. But from what I gather, he wasn't too impressed on the patient care. I'll say this because I have this platform. And y'all know I don't get political. I don't get into the weeds of things as far as that goes. Yeah, a lot of y'all know where I stand. Unless you're gonna do it right, you gotta get the house in a state the people looking be able to. Yeah. See, that's the same thing that lady said. So I'll agree with you. Yeah, she said that. Kind of look at it. For those of you listening, I do engage in the chat as we go along. Tyler S., our brother in the Great White North, ain't worth doing unless he said ain't like he's Southern. Ain't worth doing unless you gotta gotta do it right. You got to get the house in a state that people looking will be able to see their stuff in it. Yep. And I mean, all right, fair enough. Yeah. She said it looks like a dude lives here. I was like, yeah. I mean, of course, she walked in here. She saw the guitars on the wall and the Allman Brothers pictured, and it looks like a dude lives here. I mean, duh. So, okay, going back to Brother Turtle. He said, and like I said, y'all know where I stand as far as being a Christian. You know, and for those of you that don't agree, fine, that's cool. I'm a Christian. I know what God's done for me. I know what Christ has done for me. I believe in that. You want to talk about it? Come to me. We'll talk about it. If you want to know, I know some things and stuff. We'll talk about it. However, and my political views. I think my political views are this. I think both of them suck. Two parties. It's just a ridiculous idea. They're all the same. So that's that. That's why I don't talk about politics on here. Now, I love music, and I do have my very biased, serious opinions about music and cars. So I will discuss my views and opinion, my very, very skilled views and opinion on automotive and music, and being a first responder. I've been a first responder, been volunteer fire rescue. I was in corrections for a long time. Proudly wear that badge. We take the same oath of honor as the regular, I say regular, as every other law enforcement officer and agency across this country. So I'm very proud for that fact. Oath of honor, oath of office. Sorry, I'll get it straight here in a second. And there's Dan Atkinson in the chat. Thanks, Dan. How's everybody's week been, man? Y'all in the chat? So y'all had a good week? And miss shout out to Dan. Tell Miss Allison I said, or Mrs. Atkinson, I said, happy Mother's Day as well. And Tyler, I don't know if you got it later or not. If your wife constantly scolds you, would that be would make you incorrect. Here's the dad jokes. Good job. No. Maybe as an inmate. But where was I at? Oh yeah. So I'll say this. The first responders in the healthcare field, first responders, medics, EMTs, ER room techs, everything all the way up to the docs, man. After that, it's kind of suit and tie, political, business crap, and all they care about is money. Hmm. That's about as far as to me, because you see so much stuff in first responders and emergency healthcare that you question why the hospitals are doing the things that they're doing. Um. So, so, and Tosh says that's why I follow in line for chow every day. They do chow call at your house, dude. But no, so I'll let Brother Turtle when he gets good and ready, or if he allows, it's up to him. We discussed it earlier. I said I wasn't going to talk about anything he wasn't comfortable with me talking about, and I figured, and we kind of talked about it. He said, "Well, I don't want to put that on you." I was like, "Look, man, we have a podcast, we have a voice. When it get political, we don't get religious on here, but if we have something to say, hey, man, we say it, right?" We're all here for the outlaws, all here for the ones who ain't got a voice. Whether it be music, movies, TV shows, whatever. Racing. If you got a voice and you want it to be heard, bring it on. For those who, yeah. So that's what it's all about. It's about the free spirit. That's what Forever Road consists of. So where's I going with that? Brother Turtle's going to go to Atlanta first thing tomorrow morning. I wish I could be there to help him, but I got to be at work. It would have been a cool road trip. Stupid work. We have to work, and hopefully they'll admit him at the VA up there, and give him some help. He is struggling still. It's been 2 weeks. I actually rode through that intersection. I was going to say that I actually rode through the intersection that he where the lady pulled out in front of him. The approach, and I'm not going to make the lady feel bad. I talked to him, and he's heard some things through the grapevine, but the approach from his angle to right there, and it didn't make sense why she pulled out. But there again, I'm not going to bash the lady. Mistakes happen. We all, I could actually do the same thing out here. I'm not going to do that. Whatever happened, I saw the car. Whatever happened, I hope the lady's okay as well. But from what we understand, the lady is seriously, apologetic. So that's as far as my opinion will go as far as that goes. But I wrote that at an intersection. I went from one grocery store to another, and yeah, it was kind of eerie. So anyway, and I've been tasked to go do something. I gotta go revisit that and go find something. So I will, probably tomorrow because it's kind of late today. All right, moving on. Let's see a little bit of today in music. I saw some cool stories that I was kind of excited to read. Moon Martin, American singer-songwriter Moon Martin died at the age today in 2020. Died at the age of 74. Originally a rockabilly artist, he wrote songs "Bad Case of Loving You," "Doctor Doctor." Made famous by the singer Robert Palmer. Y'all remember that? And Cadillac Walk, a hit for Willie DeVille. Willie DeVille. It just sounds like it sounds like a bad corn pub name. It sounds like a bad name for one of those, sites. Yeah, nobody pays attention to motorcycles, man. So yeah, that was today in 2020. Moon Martin passed away at age 74. Um, Ed, ooh, I ain't Ed Gagliardi, Gagliardi. What would y'all say, Gagliardi? Anybody in the chats? Gagliardi? Yeah, try that out. I mean, I have a GED. I'm trying here. American bass guitarist Ed Gagliardi, best known for original bass player with the band Foreigner, died of age 62 in 2014 after an 8-year battle with cancer. In 1981, he formed the band Spies with former Foreigner keyboardist Al Greenwood. This day in 2011, a vintage rock and roll T-shirt was sold on eBay for $10,000. The shirt was a 1979 Led Zeppelin T-shirt. Was sold by Kyle Ermatinger. Yeah, of Stormcrow Vintage. The recent completion of the transaction on eBay was the world's rarest and most expensive vintage T-shirt. Man, what's up with the names, dude? Kyle. I should have just left it at that. Ermatinger. Ermatinger. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So anyway, it was a vintage Led Zeppelin T-shirt was sold for $10,000 on eBay. Are you kidding me? Or 6,096. Oh, yeah, 6,096 pounds, euros. I don't know what that means. The little backwards E looking deal. Is that euros? What do y'all have in Canada, Tyler? Y'all have euros, or what is Canadian money? Is it real money? I'm going to message you about being in Canada. Oh, yeah. Yes, Tyler, he does. Absolutely. I've seen him wear that chicken helmet too. What is Canadian money like? Is it the one is that the backwards E looking deal? What is that? Is that pounds? Anybody? Let's see. Oh, that's Monopoly colored. Looney and Tooney. All right. Let's see. There was something else. Noel Redding. That's right. That's the bass player. Jimi Hendrix bass player Noel Redding passed away at his home in Ireland at age 57, and this is 2003. Redding played on classic Hendrix album Are You Experienced, Axis, Bold as Love, and Electric Ladyland. Right up until his death, Redding had been taking legal action against Hendrix's estate for payment of 3.26 million euro for his part in recordings on ongoing and for ongoing royalties. Had also been a member of the Fat Mattress and formed the Noel Redding Band. So I guess that backwards E thing is euros, right? Pounds. Okay. So we're looking at 3.26 million pounds. What is that? 3.2 26 million pound. So for today, 3.26 million pounds is 4.3, a little over $4.3 million. All right. Yay. All right. So yeah, he was, don't know if that lawsuit settled or not. Let's see. 2001, the Black Crowes, Oasis, and Space Hog kicked off the Tour of Brotherly Love, North American Tour, Hard Rock, Las Vegas, Nevada. Nevada, that place. Las Vegas. The three bands featuring pairs of brothers, Noel and Liam Gallagher, Chris and Rich Robinson, Royston and Anthony Langdon, respectively. Let's see. There's a couple other ones, and then I got some birthdays to run across. If you're a reggae fan, yeah. If you're a reggae fan, today marks the anniversary of Bob Marley's death in 1981. He died at the age of 36. Yeah. In July of 77, he found to have a type of malignant melanoma under a toenail. After a few years, his health deteriorated. Cancer spread throughout his body. He had the 1981 single "No Woman, No Cry," plus over 10 top 40 singles. And in 1990, the 6th February was proclaimed a national holiday in Jamaica to commemorate his birth. Compilation album Legend, released in '84, is the best-selling reggae album ever, with sales of over 20 million copies. Time magazine chose Bob Marley and the Wailers' Exodus and the greatest album as the greatest album of the 20th century. Yeah. Here goes one that goes back to a couple episodes ago. Mr. Here we go. Y'all check this out. 1974, Led Zeppelin attends an concert in L.A. An Elvis Presley concert. After a shaky start of the show, Elvis stopped the band and said, "Wait a minute, fellas. If we can start together, we've got Led Zeppelin out here. Let's try to look like we know what we're doing." All four members of Led Zeppelin met Elvis after the show, spending a few hours with him, and all of the group asked for Elvis asked for all. Sorry, I got that backwards. Elvis asked for all of the members for autographs for Lisa Marie. Isn't that cool? What do you think about that? Walking into a room, there's Led Zeppelin and Elvis Presley. The king of rock and roll and the kings of hard rock. That's crazy. We did an Elvis episode. Let's see. That would be, so cool just to be a bug on that wall. You know what I mean? Just sit there and just sit in one room and walk and see Led Zeppelin, Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Bonham, John Paul Jones, and Elvis Aaron Presley in one room. You kidding me, man? That'd be amazing. Um, 1970, the soundtrack for Woodstock was released, going gold within 2 weeks. The album featured tracks by Canned Heat, Richie Havens, Country Joe McDonald, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, just before Young was onto the group. The Who, Jefferson Airplane, later Jefferson Starship, Joe Cocker, Santana, and others. The couple on the album cover are Bobby Kelly and Nick Erkeline. Erkeline, yeah. I almost said Econoline. Look at the name. Um, Nick Econoline Van. Um, let's see. Yep, Roger Miller was at the number one spot in the U.S. country charts with the song "King of the Road." This date in 1965. The song has been covered by many other artists: George Jones, Dean Martin, Boxcar Willie, Randy Travis, Statler Brothers, Rufus Wainwright, and Teddy Thompson. The Proclaimers had the UK number 9 hit with their version of the song in 1990. King of the Road. Yeah, I don't know who that is. There was something else I was looking at earlier. I know one sticking out in my head right now, but I'm going to get to it in a minute. I'll leave it for last. Where is it at? R. Dean Taylor. There you go. Canadian musician R. Dean Taylor, singer, songwriter, and record producer for Motown during the 60s and 70s. He co-wrote hits for the Four Tops, Temptations, Diana Ross, and the Supremes. As a singer, Taylor was best known for his chart-topping 1970 hit "Indiana Wants Me." There's a Ghost in My House. The 74 hit, "There's a Ghost in My House." I think that was covered by, no, that was "Stranger in My House." Yeah, that was "Stranger in My House." Taylor died at, R. Dean Taylor was born this day in 1939. He died at his home January 7th, 2022 at age of 82. Ooh. All right. Also, this day, 1947, the other drummer, one of the original drummers for the Allman Brothers Band, Mr. Butch Trucks, was born. He was on all of the albums up until he would pass away of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, January 24th, January 24th, 2017, in his home in West Palm Beach, Florida, at age 69. Butch Trucks. I remember his real name, but I gotta look it up. Yeah, so let's see. It was that's it. Claude Claude Hudson, Butch Trucks, May 11, 1947, and January 24th, 19 again. There I go. 2017, American drummer, best known for founding member of the Allman Brothers Band. Him and J-Mo were very, very, very tight, very close. J-Mo was the other drummer. Guy right here. Yeah, right here. That's J-Mo. Uh, so yeah, happy birthday, heavenly birthday, Butch. Thank you for keeping the rhythm, brother. We'll cover the Allman Brothers Band at another episode at some point. Anyway, so we're gonna move on. One of the main ones that I was going to talk about. Let's see. I see Brother Turtle's in the chat, y'all. Where's he at? There he is. What in the world are y'all talking about? I hadn't even been paying attention to the chats. Mm, that's pretty awesome. I do like reggae, man. I do like reggae. Reggae is I mean, it's there is a song. I'm gonna tell you like this, Tyler. I'll give y'all some homework. This isn't a thing I'm gonna start or anything, but just out of pure, just to see what you think. And I know you're not on any social media, so this is the only way I could really tell you. But there's a song that Government Mule done. There's a collaboration, big collaboration album. You ever heard of Government Mule? Government Mule was a big side project of um, three players of the Allman Brothers Band at the time. They formed in 1994. They were hanging out at the big house, and when they officially became a band. Um, it's Warren Haynes, Matt Apps, and Woody Allen. So let me see if I can remember. I remember the name of the album. I think, if I'm correct. It's heavily blues. It's kind of like a blues reggae infusion. The whole entire album. It's called Mighty. Make sure I'm right. Hang on. I think it's called Mighty High. I'm gonna look up. Let's see. Government Mule discography. There we are. American songs. We'll do. I'd love to do a Government Mule episode. I got to write. I got to start writing dates down. What I'm gonna do on what date. Sometimes I kind of get lost and I'll plan an idea on what I want to do, and then I'll kind of change it at the last minute, or you know. Let's see albums. There's 70 albums. Another thing I have nothing to do with our topic today. I just got to find this. Yes. Pull up the screen. All right. This comes from Brother Turtle. Let me pause this for real quick. Fractured left foot, fractured and shattered left shoulder, 7 fractured ribs, 3 left, 3 right, 1 right rear. Fractured right ankle, fractured rear skull. I think we covered part of that. And one of my reels. The only thing he's asking for is prayers for him and the family while he's in the hospital. Well, there he is. He says in the chats right here. I'll pull it up for those who are listening. That's what for our listeners. That's where we're at now. So he is going to be on an early morning ride to Atlanta, and I feel bad for that because sadly, as big as this area is between Macon and Warner Robins, and well, this whole Central Georgia area, you figure that there would be more of a decent healthcare around here. But I'll leave it at that. So let me share the screen and we'll get to that. There it is, right there. Y'all check that out. For those of you who want some really cool, laid back, awesome. Oh yeah, and a fractured hip. And a bird in a pearl tree. That was partridge in a pear tree. Okay, whatever. So y'all check this album out. Government Mule, Mighty High. I mean, and all of these songs are just phenomenal, especially if you have, and I'm gonna tell you, if you have a really great sub in your vehicle, ooh, magic. Magic. All right. We'll cover one mom anyway. Any of you know any females that are in music? Namely Miss Aretha Franklin, Susan Tedeschi, Bonnie Raitt. I think Bonnie Raitt had kids, didn't she? I know Susan and Derek do. Nope, Bonnie Raitt does not have any kids. Huh. That's surprising. Aretha Franklin had 4 children. Let me find that article I was looking at earlier. The Queen of Soul. And the reason why I started with just getting her is because I think she's going to be the first real big female that we talk about for the first time. Anyway, we usually cover dudes and we cover Southern rock and we cover country artists and all that. Now there's been and Tammy Wynette, Loretta Lynn. She was a mom. She had twin girls. Aretha Franklin had 4 kids, and largely, I think 2 of them are in the music business. But okay, so Aretha Louise Franklin. She was born March 25th, 1942. She passed away August 16th, 2018, which ironically, I think, if I'm not mistaken here, I think that was the same date that Robert Johnson passed away. Let me look. Robert Johnson. August 16th, 1938. Look at that. How many years apart is that? Is that 80 years? If I'm mathing correctly. Oh. Aretha Franklin also lived on Kimberly Drive when she was there recording in Macon, according to Brother Turtle. She had a hard time keeping Matt and if you go back to our Blues Brothers episode, she did have a hard time keeping Matt Murphy in line. Yeah. Matt Murphy, was it Matt Murphy and the Murph Tones? The Murph Tones. Yeah, what a glorious day, August 16th. Yeah, you're right. Hello, Marines Bloods in the chats. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, that was kind of weird. I remember when I was in the barbecue joint, when I was in Satterfields up there in Macon, it dawned on me when I read that just now, August 16th. I was like, wait, isn't that the same day? Huh. I did cover that Robert Johnson episode by myself, as a matter of fact. American singer, songwriter, pianist. Don't. Dan. Honored as the Queen of Soul, who was twice named by Rolling Stone magazine. I mean, okay. As the greatest singer of all time. I will agree. Most of the time, I can care less what Rolling Stone magazine says or thinks or their opinions on anything, but I will say one of the greatest voices of all time. As a child, she was noticed in her gospel singing at New Bethel Baptist Church in Detroit. She was born in Memphis, Tennessee. Believe it or not, a lot of folks think that Detroit, Motown, she was from Detroit. She wasn't. She lived the early part of her life in Memphis, Tennessee. She's a Southern girl. Let's see. And I'm going to just read this off of Wikipedia. You can go back and read this and check on this on yourself as you want to. But I did a little bit of research. I'm just kind of refreshing my brain here. Her father was a Baptist minister. And at the age of 18, she was signed a recording contract with Columbia Records. Her career didn't immediately take off. She found some commercial success once she signed with Atlantic, though, in 1966. There was one song, I've never loved a man the way that I love you. If y'all go back and listen to that song, oh man, she puts it down. I mean, really, I don't mind. I'll play a little bit of it right now. Hang on. It's a really cool, I mean, just, oh gosh, it's a great song. I can get by with 10 seconds, I think. I remember one of the songs. I tell you this, Aretha Franklin has such a presence even on the radio. I was working at a shop. I ain't gonna name any names, but I was working at a shop in Macon, and one of her songs, "Feel Like a Natural Woman," came on, and I was kind of, I wasn't really singing along. Okay, I'll be honest, I was singing to the top of my lungs with this song, and and out of the corner of my eye, I see one of the guys in the worked in the shop with me. At the corner of my eyes, he's just kind of he he does this thing where he tosses his hair back like that, and he's kind of singing back up with it. Lost everything. I think I even dropped my wrench, dude. I mean, I lost it right then and there. You know, all due respect in the world for the Queen of Soul. I immensely love her voice, love her music, but that was hilarious, dude. I wish I had a camera. I wish it was a couple years back, but it's just one of those moments where you just gotta take the ball and run with it. Um, this song was laid down by Aretha in Fame Recording Studios, which we covered Fame on a previous episode. I think the one that Chief Keef was on with us. Let's see. The story behind this song, from what I understand, if you go back and watch, you can actually see this on YouTube. As a matter of fact, there's a video documentary. It's an hour or two long. Fame or Multiple Shoals. Sorry, it's a great documentary. We covered it here before, but she was down there, and at the time, she was married to this guy, um, Ted Knight. Let me look. Ted Knight. Ted Knight. Ted Knight. Let's see. New Bethel. Man. Yeah, we're gonna cover him too. Anyway, she was married to this dude. Just controlling, whatever. There wasn't a whole lot that they found about their marriage. They kept it very, very private. But apparently, from what I gather, everything, and I ain't trying to knock her in no way, but apparently he was a douche. Um, so here we go. I think that's about as much as I can play without getting in trouble. I can probably break it up a little bit, but y'all go check that song out, and in it kind of progresses a little bit. So they were sitting in Fame, and she didn't have any music kind of written down. She was kind of trying to get the feeling and the vibe of the studios and being hanging around. Now this is 1966, okay? So we all know what was going on back then, but she was she was trying to lay down some music and trying to get the feel of everything and getting to know everybody, getting comfortable and all that. And she sat down behind the piano and she starts doing that, which you hear the keyboards, dun, 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 dun. doing all that. She starts running down the song, I ain't ever loved a man the way that I love you. Boom. Whatever happens, and I'll get to that here in a minute, whatever happens, go on back and forth between some bass player, her husband, they leave, he leaves. We'll get to that here in a minute. But that was the first song that she recorded at Fame Recording Studios. She recorded the rest of that album in New York with Jerry Wexler's at with Atlantic. So, Aretha Louise Franklin, born March 25th, 1942, to Barbara and Clarence Levon Franklin. She was born at her house in Memphis, Tennessee. Like I said, her daddy was a Baptist minister and a circuit preacher, originally from Shelby, Mississippi. Her mother was an accomplished piano player and a singer as a vocalist. They both had children from prior relationships, in addition to the 4 children they had together. So 6, I'm guessing 6 altogether. When Aretha was 2, they relocated to Buffalo, New York. By the time she was 5, they had permanently relocated to Detroit, where he took over the pastorship of New Bethel Baptist Church. The Franklins had a troubled marriage, so she had a troubled childhood early on. They separated in 1948. At the time, Barbara Franklin returned to Buffalo with Aretha's half-brother Vaughn. After the separation, Aretha recalled seeing her mother in Buffalo during the summer, and Barbara Franklin frequently visited her children in Detroit. Her mother passed away of a heart attack March 7th, 1952. With the children at the Franklin home. Oh, wait. I skipped a line. Before her 10th birthday, several women, including Aretha's grandmother, Rachel, and Mahalia Jackson. If y'all don't know who Mahalia Jackson is, please, y'all go check her out. American gospel singer who widely considered one of the most influential vocalists. And matter of fact, if you kind of look back at Mahalia Jackson and Aretha's voice, it kind of complement each other. Mahalia Jackson and her grandmother Rachel took turns helping raise the children. During this time, she learned how to play piano by ear. She couldn't read sheet music. She actually said that all throughout her life. She never read sheet music. Isn't that phenomenal? Aretha's father's emotionally driven sermons resulted in him being known as the man with the $1 million voice. He earned thousands of dollars for his sermon in various churches across the country. His fame led to his home being visited by various celebrities. Among visitors were gospel musicians Clara Ward, James Cleveland, the early Caravan members, Alberta Walker, Martin Luther King, Jackie Wilson, and Sam Cooke became friends with Sam Cooke. Martin Luther King and Sam Cooke come to your house because your dad's a pastor, because your dad's a Baptist minister. That you got some you got some favors going on the other side. I mean, that's just my opinion. So, Ward was romantically involved with Aretha's father. Hang on. Albertina Walker. There's a Ward lady. Claire Ward, that's it. Let's see. Ward was romantically involved with his father from around 1949 till her death in 73. Though Aretha preferred to view them strictly as friends, Ward also served as a role model to the young Aretha. So your influences, I mean, you're kidding me, man? One of your main influences, Mahalia Jackson, as a singer. Wow. So just after her mother's death, she began singing solos at New Bethel Baptist Church, debuting with the hymn Jesus Be a Fence Around Me. When Franklin was 12, her father began managing her, took her out on the road with him, singing gospel songs. So this is from 52 to 60. Her first, in 1956, her first hit single, Never Grow Old, back with You Grow Closer, Precious Lord, back with, so yeah, she covered a lot of faith and all right, hang on one second. Catfish called me. I said, I'm live right now, man. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm live. All right. During this time, she would travel around with the Soul Stirrers. As a young gospel singer, she spent summers on the gospel circuit in Chicago and stayed with the Mavis Staples family. Now that's a wow. According to producer Quincy Jones, while she was young, Dinah Washington let him know that Aretha was the next one. So early on in her life, she's, boom. Everybody knows she's got it. Her and her family moved, or her and her father traveled to California, where she met singer Sam Cooke. We'll get to Sam Cooke later on this month. In another episode, we're going to cover Sam Cooke on an upcoming true crime episode. Y'all will see why. At the age of 16, she went on tour with Dr. Martin Luther King. She would ultimately sing at his funeral in 1968. Other influences at her youth was Marvin Gaye, who was a boyfriend of her sister, as well as Ray Charles and Sam Cooke, two of Franklin's greatest influences. Also important was James Cleveland, known as the King of Gospel Music, who helped her focus early on her career as a gospel singer. So she started out as a gospel singer. I think that's how she ended. She kind of pulled back off of pop music a lot when she was as she was later on in life. Cleveland had been recruited by her father as a pianist for the Southern California Community Choir. She turned 18. She confided in her father that she inspired to follow Sam Cooke and record pop music. So she moved to New York. Serving as her manager, her daddy agreed to the move and helped produce 2-song demo that soon was brought to the attention of Columbia Records, who signed her in 1960. As a 5% artist, I don't know what that means. During this period, she would be coached by choreographer, Charlie Atkins. Charlie, kind of cool name is CHOLCHO LLY. Y'all in the chats, what's your favorite Aretha Franklin song? Anybody? All right. Sam Cooke tried to persuade Franklin's father to sign her with his label, RCA Victor, but she already decided to go with Columbia. Barry Gordy, which everybody knows the name Barry Gordy, had also asked Franklin and her elder sister Emma to sign with his. How do you say that? Tamla? Yeah. Tamla. It looked like an I. Tamla label. But her father declined or turned Gordy down as he felt there were not yet established label. Franklin's first Columbia single was Today I Sing the Blues. It was issued in September 1960 and later reached top 10 with Hot Rhythm and Blues Sellers chart. 1961, Columbia issued Franklin's first album, Aretha, with the Ray Bryant combo. The album featured her first single to the chart, Billboard Hot 100, Won't Be Long, which also peaked at number 7 on the R&B charts. So, mostly produced by Clyde Otis, Franklin's Columbia recording saw her performing in diverse genres. So, not only was she doing, blues and pop, but she was, such as standard vocal, jazz, blues, and doo-wop, and rhythm and blues. Before the year was out, before 1961 was out, her first single with her rendition of the standard Rockabye Your Baby with a Dixie Melody. Rockabye Your Baby with a Dixie Melody. What in the world? Popular song written by Gene Schwartz. Lyrics by Sam Lewis and Joe Young. I don't know that one. That one's a new one on me. Doo-wop is the Fugees. Let's see. Where'd I go? Hang on. Let me get back to it. In the 1960s, during a performance of the Regal Theater in Chicago, VON, sorry. I need new glasses. Radio personality Purvis Spann announced that Franklin should be crowned the Queen of Soul. Now, this is 1960s. He ceremonially placed a crown on her head. By 64, she began recording her pop music, reaching top 10 on the R&B chart with the ballad Running Out of Fools. I like the song Chain of Fools, by the way. That's bad. That's a bad song. And I'll get to that in here in a second. She had 2 R&B charted singles in 65 and 66 with One Step Ahead and Cry Like a Baby, while also reaching for easy listening charts with the ballads You Made Me Love You and No, I'm Losing You. Franklin was making $100,000 a year from countless performances in nightclubs and theaters. Also, during that period, she appeared in rock and roll shows such as Hollywood A Go-Go and Shindig. Sure, okay. I've heard of the Hollywood A Go-Go. However, she struggled with commercial success while at Columbia. The label executive John Hammond later said he felt Columbia did not understand her gospel background and failed to bring that aspect out further during that time period. So from 66, we'll move on. From 66 to 79 during the Atlantic years. So this is where it really gets good. We're gonna get into the meat and taters. Yes, I said meat and taters. 66, Franklin Columbia record contract expired, so she owed the company money because the record sales had not met expectations. Imagine doing that. Working your behind off and then owing the company that you worked for money. Huh. Nah, not me. I'm good. Let's see. I'm trying to pull this. There we go. Nope. Hang on. I'm trying to pull this window up. There we are. That's better. All right. So y'all know most of the time I can kind of pull in an Allman Brothers Band tie. Producer Jerry Wexler convinced her to move to Atlantic Records. He decided he wanted to take advantage of her gospel background. His philosophy in general was to encourage Lanacious, form meat and taters. We're having roast and whipped. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I already had dinner. I'm gonna tell you what I had, and it wasn't that great. Boneless barbecue boneless chicken wings, or shall I say nuggets. Barbecue boneless chicken nuggets, jalapeno poppers, and cheese sticks. I know, bar food, right? So this form of rhythm and blues that became increasingly identified as soul. Now I love some soul music. Aretha back then, Sam Cooke, Sam and Dave, Otis Redding. Good Lord, name it. I can listen to hours and hours and hours. In January of '67, she traveled to Muscle Shoals, Alabama, to record at Fame Studios. That song we just played a few seconds ago. I never loved a man the way I love you, backed by Muscle Shoals Rhythm Section. There again, like I said earlier, go find that album on YouTube. It's called, or the video on YouTube. It's called Muscle Shoals. It's a movie. It can teach you stuff about music that you wouldn't even know. And you'd be surprised, really. I honestly believe, in the same sense, that the Native Americans of that area, even in Macon, they said the same thing, that the energy and the vibe comes from the water. Muscle Shoals, and there's something about the region, something about the area. I don't know. It just makes you. It brings a little bit more heart and soul to whatever you're doing. In this case, you're recording at Muscle Shoals. There's something about the energy and the vibe. There's a lot of folks who traveled there. Name it. Bob Seger, U2, the Rolling Stones, Hank Jr., Dwayne Allman. That's where him and Wilson Pickett got together. Same place, Percy Sledge, So Aretha travels to Fame Recording Studios, and what did I say earlier? Ted Knight. Okay, so here we go. Backed by Muscle Shoals rhythm section, Franklin only spent 1 day at Fame. An altercation broke out between her manager, and it wasn't even her manager that misquoted it here. A bass player, um, a horn player, sorry, for Muscle Shoals sound, the studio guys kept making comments about Aretha, calling her Aretha baby and all this other stuff. Now, you can say what you want to, but I believe that if you're making comments like that to a married woman in the presence, or regardless, even in the presence of her husband, whatever happens, happens. That's just where I stand on it. So the bass player had all day been making little comments, talking to Aretha, and her husband, Ted White, got mad and he left. And then Aretha left. By the time Aretha left and got back to the hotel and got, her husband, Ted White, was already at the airport. Now, this is where I went back to saying earlier, and I ain't bashing anybody, but in her words, this fool has already left for the airport. He was going to leave me in most songs. That was on. That's actually in that documentary. So whatever happened between that's their relationship. I ain't here to bash anybody as far as that goes. So she would go up to New York and finish recording. Rick Hall had made a phone call to Jerry Wexler telling Jerry what happened, and Rick Hall went to the hotel and tried to smooth things over, but Ted and Rick had already gotten into I think they got into the bottle a little bit heavy, and I think Ted White almost tried to throw Rick Hall over the railing for over this altercation. Jerry Wexler told Rick Hall he'll run him out of town. He'll get him. He won't ever be able to do business again. The rest of the Muscle Shoals rhythm section went to New York to finish recording that album. The song was released. The song and the album was released a month later, reaching number one in the R&B chart, also peaking number 9 in the Billboard Hot 100s, giving Franklin her first top 10 pop single. Do Right Woman, Do Right Man reached the top 40, the R&B top 40, peaking at number 37. All right, here we go. Y'all ready for this? Now, I'll say this really quick. This is the Allman Brothers Band Connection. While Aretha was there recording at Fame Studios, there was a little redhead hippie by the name of Dwayne Allman that was recording, or that was there. He was trying to be a session picker. They recorded The Wait. Oh gosh, I had it the other day. The Wait. Aretha Franklin. It Just Ain't Fair, which is another really good song. I don't know if they did Son of a Preacher Man, the Dusty Springfield cover. But I know The Wait, It Ain't Fair, and the other song, Never Love a Man. So Dwayne was there at the same time Aretha was there. So there's your Jerry, there's your Allman Brothers Band connection to Aretha Franklin. You're welcome. Now you know. And no one's half the battle. So this is when she cuts one of her most favorite songs. Anybody in the chats, can you guess what it is? One of the most favorite songs she ever cut. She actually covers it on Blues Brothers. Respect was Otis Redding's song originally. Though she modified it with a supercharged interlude featuring the empathetic spelling of the song's title. Her phonetic version was released in April, reached number one on both R&B and pop charts, became her signature song, and was later held as a civil rights and feminist anthem. Which is, hey, Otis Redding said admiringly, "This little girl done took my song away from me." Franklin's debut Atlantic album, "I've Never Loved a Man the Way That I Love You," also became commercially successful, later going gold. According to National Geographic, this recording would catapult Franklin to fame. Franklin scored 2 additional top 10 hits in '67 with "Baby I Love You," which is a great song as well, and "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman." Who hasn't felt that way, huh? Working with Jerry Wexler in Atlantic, she became the most successful singer in the nation by 1968. And in she issued the top. In '68, she also issued the top-selling albums "Lady Soul" and "Aretha Now," which included some of her popular hit singles, including "Chain of Fools," that's what I mentioned a minute ago, "Ain't No Way," "Think," "Say a Little Prayer." So we're talking about "You Don't Feel Like a Natural Woman." Man, come on, dude. February 16th, she was honored. 1968, she was honored with a day named for her, as greeted by longtime friend Dr. Martin Luther King, who gave her the SCLC Drumbeat Award for musicians 2 months before he passed, before his death. She toured outside for the first time in late April, May of '68. Appearance in Amsterdam. In '69, she was unanimously voted winner of the Academia du Jazz, R&B Award for her albums "Lady Soul," "Aretha Now," and "Aretha in Paris." There you go. That year, in 1969, she was subject of a criminal impersonation scheme. Another woman performed at several Florida venues under the name Aretha Franklin. Suspicion was drawn when the fake Aretha charged only a fraction of what was expected rate to perform. Her lawyers contacted Florida authorities and uncovered the coercive scheme in which the singer Vicki Jones had been threatened with violence and constrained into impersonating her idol, whom she resembled closely, both looks in voice and looks. Sorry. After being cleared of wrongdoing, Jones subsequently enjoyed a brief career of her own, in which she was herself the subject of an impersonation. That's hilarious. So this lady was coerced and threatened with violence into impersonating Aretha Franklin because she looked like her and she sounded like her. Somebody tipped off the authorities. She told them what was going on. Then she herself became a victim of what she was forced to do. Yes. All right. Y'all follow me there? Everybody up to date? All right, good. Don't Feel Like a Natural Woman. I mean, it's 2025, dude. You know, they covered. We don't talk about that here, but you know, there's other podcasts talk about that kind of stuff. I know, right? So you look and sound just like Aretha Franklin. We're going to put you on stage, or we're going to threaten you with whatever they were threatening her with. And then, man, that's crazy. All right. So Aretha's success further expanded during the '70s. She recorded multi-week R&B number "Don't Play That Song You lied. Top 10 singles: Spanish Harlem, Rocksteady, and Daydreaming. Like Rocksteady? Like by the band Bad Company? Rocksteady. Is that Rocksteady? I think so. I'm gonna have to go back and listen. Some of these releases were from the acclaimed albums Spirit in the Dark. Released in August of 1970. In that same month, she performed with London's Hammersmith Odeon. Odeon? Odeon. Wonder how we pronounce that part. The Young, Gifted, and Black. Yeah. That's what I tell myself every time I wake up in the morning. I'm young. I'm gifted. I can't finish it. Oh, God. Okay. Franklin. She became the first R&B performer to headline Fillmore West. Later that year, releasing a live album, Aretha Live at Fillmore West. Man, Fillmore. Bill Graham says, "Yeah, come over here and record at my place. I got a place for you. Come over here and record." That's awesome. Franklin's career began experiencing problems with, while recording the album "Hey Now Hey." Hey Now Hey, yeah. Which featured production from Quincy Jones. Y'all know who Quincy Jones is, that great, right? Oh, God. I'm not repeating that. For those of you in the chat, or for those of you listening, you just gonna have to see what they're talking about in the chats. I'm not recording. You're not gonna. Oh gosh, the chats, y'all are cracking me up today. Let's see what Catfish said. I know he texted me earlier. Come join the chats. In the great words of Joey Diaz, I can't say it. I don't do super chats, no way. I mean, all right. Stay black, motherfuckers. I almost tried to do the accent too. Don't tempt me. Don't try me. Y'all know I'm crazy. So, what is it? What did I say I say in the mirror every morning? Oh, yeah. I'm young, I'm gifted, and I'm black. There we go. I say every morning. I repeat that in the mirror every morning. I brush my teeth. Boom. Directly in the eyes. I'm young, gifted, I'm black. Boom. There we go. All right. Right? I would have been, because Tyler in the chats, he said, I seem to have a problem with derailing this podcast. Although if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have been silent for the first 30 minutes. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, because I was talking away this little intro part, saying my Mother's Day salutations and greetings and all that other stuff. And right. Cancel me, dude. I don't get paid for this. What you talk about? How dare you? Yeah, man. I've been told I've been the lightest black, light skinned black dude they've ever met. Just got sold, man. That's all it is. So Aretha goes on, throughout the 70s. She has several hits. 1980, after leaving Atlantic. Now, I will say this, and if y'all hadn't seen the movie, oh man, that's rude. I don't have a subscription. We'll cancel your subscription to most part monthly. She signed with Clive Davis Arista Records. He was beguiling. That's some $5 words. And had the golden touch, according to Rolling Stones. Anybody could rejuvenate her puzzlingly stuck career, it was Davis. 1980, she began command performance at London Palladium in front of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. Yeah. I mean, which is pretty cool. I mean, you're singing, you're doing your thing in front of, you're doing your thing in front of, I mean, royalty of some other country, but I think it's still kind of cool at the same time. I mean, if I was sitting here doing this and then talking to Prince Charles or King Charles, isn't he a king now? You know, I'd probably mess with him about being it. Never mind. I'm gonna leave all that alone. But it's still, that's pretty cool. She and Dan Exton made the reference to this earlier. She also had the acclaimed guest role as a soul food restaurant proprietor and wife of Matt Guitar Murphy in the 1980 comedy musical The Blues Brothers, which was previously covered on here. With I think Boatwright was with me on that episode. We might have to revisit Blues Brothers. It's one of my favorite movies. We'll probably do Blues Brothers 1 and then Blues Brothers 2000. Kings of Turd Mountain. Hey, if you want, you can have the crown. Hey, Foxy, happy Mother's Day. How's my boy Kennedy doing? And Kiara. Can't remember her kid. Anyway, the kids. Happy Mother's Day. Anyway. She was so in the movie Blues Brothers, she was married to Matt Guitar Murphy, which was the obviously guitar player in the Blues Brothers band. Her first album, Aretha, in 1980, featured the number 3 R&B hit United Together. Her Grammy-nominated cover of Redding's I Can't Turn You Loose. Otis Redding's another Otis Redding song. The follow-up of 1981's Love Hurt Me All the Way. Love all the hurt away. Damn. Let's see. What else? She covered Hold On, I'm Coming. 1987, she performed America the Beautiful. And maybe some guys will appreciate this too. At WWE WrestleMania 3. I wonder who that. To this day, her WrestleMania 3 performance might be the most memorable of the event openers by many artists. After 88, she never again had any huge hits. Let's see. I mean, she had like years, dude. She started in the 50s. Let's see. New York City, Detroit, this, that, and the other. She had struggled with her weight issues for years. In 1974, she lost 40 pounds on a low-calorie diet. She was a former chain smoker, struggled with alcoholism, and quit smoking in 92. She admitted in 94 that her smoking was messing with her voice. In 2010, she canceled a number of concerts to have surgery for undisclosed tumor. Discussing the surgery in 2011, she quoted her doctor as saying that it would add 15 to 20 years to her life. She denied the ailment had anything to do with pancreatic cancer, as had been reported. She said, I don't have to talk about my health with anybody other than my doctors. The problem has been resolved. She lost 85 pounds. However, she denied her undergone weight loss. Had undergone weight loss surgery. 2011, she had her comeback show at the Chicago Theater. August 13th, like we said earlier, 2018. I got me an iced coffee while hiding from the kids. Yeah. I'm gonna be playing some Call of Duty here in a little bit. Franklin was reported to be gravely ill at her home in Riverfront Towers, Detroit. She went in hospice care, surrounded by friends and family. Former husband Glenn Turman visited her on her deathbed. He passed away August 16th, 2018, at the age of 76. She initially was thought to die without having a will. The cause of death was malignant pancreatic neuroendocrine tumor. Now, I will say this. When she was in Muscle Shoals, I know for a fact that no, it's not for euphemism. It's for euphemism for me sitting ass deep in a chair holding a game controller. She struggled with depression, and there were times where Jerry Wexler would go force her. Come on, let's go. A lot of people struggle with depression. She struggled with alcoholism, smoking habits, which she quit. Memorial service was held at her home church, New Bethel Baptist, August 19th. 10,000 then paid their respect. Thousands. Sorry, I read that wrong. August 19th. Thousands then paid their respects during the public lying in repose at the August 31st, homegoing service held at Greater Grace Temple in Detroit. Good Lord. Among those who paid respects to Aretha was Ariana Grande. I think that's Dan Atkinson's favorite singer, Ariana Grande. Bill Clinton, everybody's favorite president. The great Reverend Al Sharpton. Oh, boy, the list is kind of getting worse. Louis Farrakhan. Yep. Faith Hill, Fantasia, the Clark sisters, Ronald Isley. If you don't know who Ronald Isley is, I'd go check out the Isley brothers. Angie Stone, Shaka Khan, who was also in the Blues Brothers. She was in one of the choir singers. Jennifer Holliday, Loretta Devine, Jennifer Hudson, Queen Latifah, Shirley Caesar. Any of these names ringing a bell? Sherma Rousey, Stevie Wonder, Eric Holder. Well, that is a mixed group of folks. Gladys Knight, Cedric the Entertainer, Tyler Perry, Smokey Robinson, Yolanda Adams, and Reverend Dr. William Barber II. At her request, she was eulogized by from Salem Baptist Church in Atlanta. She got a Hollywood Star Walk of Fame in 1979. Her voice declared a Michigan Natural Resource in 1985. Become the first black woman inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987. National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences awarded her with a Grammy Legend Award in 91. Grammy Lifetime Achievement Awards. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Y'all know the music. Y'all know the woman. She was the queen of soul. Several other artists have covered her throughout the years. So yeah, it's let's see. So what do y'all think? Y'all anybody a big Aretha Franklin fan? So the Staples, she said, I said Mavis Staples earlier. Mavis Staples was a phenomenal R&B singer as well. That movie, there's a movie with her in it, and she, Mavis Staples was a pretty good. Like I said, it's Mother's Day. Going to talk about some random music, ladies in music, and show that love and respect. Yeah, Marine's blood. You might, but yeah, I saw what you said earlier. You're going to cancel me. Cancel me, please. Cancel me. Um, RESPECT is the only thing, the only song I have on my phone. Or you missed it earlier. That was originally an Otis Redding song. Go slap yourself, silly. Gosh, man. But yeah, I can remember as a kid, like I said, I can remember as a kid listening to a lot of Aretha Franklin's music. There was hours and hours riding around with my aunt and my cousins on road trips, listening to what they call back in the '90s, what they call it oldies, right? And I thought it was hilarious. I mean, because think about it now. What do you call it? What do we call it now? We're talking about music from the 50s and 60s. Is it still considered oldies or ancient? You know, I've actually heard kids talking about, oh yeah, back in the 1990s, this is an oldies, and I had to go sit down for a minute. I was kind of hurt, and then I realized that a lot of the songs that we like from the 90s are 30 years old now. I swear this is not dye. This is all natural color. I'm not gray. I don't think. Um Old oldies, yeah. I mean, but the music was better. I mean, think about it. What there's a who was it? Me and Brother Turtle was talking about early on the phone. He said that, we were talking about Tim Wilson. I think he said music was better when it was ugly folks. Way before the videos came out. Where they say video killed the music star. What is it? What's that song? It was on MTV. Video killed the radio star. Yeah, video killed the radio star. I'm not going to play it here. I don't care. But yeah, that's it. Good Lord. I mean, but it was. Think about it, man. Music was way better before they started doing these music videos and folks trying to look sexy and whatever else on TV. I mean, Johnny Cash, he wasn't no lady killer. For some reason, I guess it's just fame and notoriety. He pulled some ladies, but that's another episode for another day. I mean, music was better when it was ugly. Look at Merle Haggard. I mean, just y'all know I'm gonna speak the truth. I'm gonna speak whatever's on my mind. If women are attracted to money, absolutely. Foxy said women are attracted to money. That's why I ain't got no women attracted to me because I ain't got no money. I'm broke. I hear my puppy. I don't know if y'all heard her or not. Right? That is true. The Streets of Bakersfield. Yep, Buck Owens and Dwight Yoakam. Yep, that's a great song. Which Dwight Yoakam was pretty good, but you know we're talking about mamas and stuff. Any other music mamas y'all have a favorite of, like Loretta Lynn? Um, well, she had, like I said, I think she had twin daughters, didn't she? I'm just here engaging in the chat, shooting the shit. But yeah, man. Let's see her children. I think she had twins. Yeah, she had twins. Her first child, Betty, November 26, 1940. Hang on. Wow. But we're talking about ladies back in the day. I'm not talking about Shania Twain or Carrie Underwood or, God forbid, Taylor Swift reproduce. I'm just kidding. That was ugly. No, I don't care. Winona. Yeah, see? I could imagine being growing up Winona's kid. Loretta Lynn, she had 6 kids with her husband Doolittle. Oliver Doolittle. Yeah. I think. All right. Let me look at this. Late country music icon says 6 kids, 4 of them who she had given birth by the age. She had 4 kids by the time she was 20. You know what she liked to do? Damn, Loretta. But she stayed married to one dude for the entire time. She had her first kid in 1948. When did she pass away? 2022. So she lived to be 90. 1932 to 2022. She had 4 kids by the time she was 20. She married this dude at 15. Their parents to Betty Sue, who died in 2013, Jack Benny, who died in 84, Clara Marie, Ernest Ray, and twins Peggy Jean and Patsy Eileen, sorry, Patsy Eileen. Peggy Jean and Patsy Eileen. That's amazing. I think for some reason I just kind of keyed up on Loretta. I think I remember the twins, releasing music back in the 90s. Anybody else remember that? Or is it just me? Foxy said, I'm going to go out on a limb. 90% of my stuff on my iTunes is men singers. I mean, I get it. It was Doolittle that was doing the driving. I know that's a reference to something. Roseanne Cash. There's somebody else. Oh, so I think yeah. Susan Tedeschi Trucks Band, and Derek Trucks have 2 kids together. Charles Khalil Trucks and hang on. Now I have a song in my head. I can't find any info on them. But yeah, so there's some more music singers who are mamas. June Carter Cash, exactly. And I mean, as far as that goes, I'll just branch off to, as far as the automotive stuff goes, happy heavy Mother's Day, Martha Earnhardt. Talking about famous mothers. She passed away in 2021, December 2016, 2021. It's Dale Earnhardt's mom. Earnhardt Sr.'s mom, Martha Earnhardt. She was age 81. And she was a Spitfire, too. She actually, come on. I'm trying to see. They had 5 children, daughters Kay and Kathy, sons Dale, Randy, and Danny, sorry. And she would actually raise, and she would put the work in and all that stuff and raising the Earnhardt family. I don't know if any of y'all were Earnhardt fans or are race fans in general. I grew up watching NASCAR. I'm still at heart an Earnhardt fan. I like to see what Jeffrey Earnhardt's going to turn into. But yeah, so on behalf of the France family and all the NASCAR, we extend our condolences to the family, friends of Martha Earnhardt when she passed away. She's actually on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s podcast, the Dale Jr. Download. Yeah, I invite y'all to go check that out. It's pretty good, especially if you want to know some NASCAR history. Speaking of NASCAR history, and I guess we'll start wrapping it up there because I've been going for about 2 hours and I want to go play some video games before it gets too late. Next episode is on Mr. Harry Gant. Harry Gant. He was a legendary NASCAR racer. He drove for Burt Reynolds' race team. And number 33, I think? Yeah, number 33 Skull Bandit race car for 2 decades. He was, so that's going to be next week. We're going to cover Harry Gant. Harry Gant is still alive. He was born January 10th, 1940, Taylorsville, North Carolina. Old Southern boy. But yeah, it just kind of popped. So yeah, y'all tune in next week for another episode of Forever Road Podcast. Like I said, Skull Bandit race team was owned and operated by Mr. Burt Reynolds, or the Bandit. I'd get me a black hat for next episode. What do y'all think? Black hat, or just keep y'all like this one? I kick it to the side like Hank Sr. does, or did. This side. There we go. Anyway, but yeah, thank y'all being in the chats. A couple shout outs and happy Mother's Day again to Foxy. Falk around and find out. Marine's Blood was in the chats. Tyler, Dan Atkinson. I think Brother Turtle was in here too. I think that's it that I can see right off. Just scrolling up a little bit. To have a black hat, don't take my thunder. I'm gonna get me a black hat now. Don't threaten me. Watch me go to the place and get black. I'll be wearing a black hat next week. Try me. So anyway, I will see y'all next week. I look forward to seeing y'all in the chats. Hopefully we'll kick off a lot earlier. All right. Deal. I hope y'all have a great week. Whatever y'all get into, be safe. Also, while I bring this up, and I know I mentioned it earlier and I meant to bring it up. Well, let me stop there. We know depression, alcoholism, PTSD, anxiety, all that stuff, they're legit things. I seriously, if you're struggling with drugs, alcohol, if you are struggling with anxiety, PTSD, I meant to say this too. Hey, Andrea is in the chats. For real, reach out to somebody. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to deal with it by yourself. And with that being said, Operation Tackle Box time. Operation Tackle Box is a 501c3 nonprofit organization helping through healing through reeling, helping changing lives, combat veterans, helping combat veterans. Find the guys on Facebook, Operation Tackle Box, and on Instagram, Operation underscore tackle box, tackle underscore box. I said it wrong. Let me try it again. Operation underscore tackle underscore box. There we go. Let me pull this up. Share screen. Bam. Everybody see that? Yep. Happy Mother's Day, Andrea. So they do have there's Operation. They do have another thing coming out for their side by side. I just saw an update on Facebook. I think I shared it. They did do the side by side giveaway for the UTV. Rough Country for decking it out. June's Second Chance Ranch for picking the winner. Okay, congratulations to John Wells from Knoxville, Tennessee. Y'all go in there and check them out. They're family owned and operated and focus full time on planning out fishing expeditions for the veterans. They have plans for helping veterans to get whatever they need, GI Bill, VA claims, absolutely anything and everything they can do, they will do. Why fishing? As a combat veteran, he suffered from PTSD. Fishing fishing and being on the water helped more than anything else. And Jacob wanted to share that feeling with other veterans. Being on the water to him is a time where I'm not looking over my shoulder or worried about what's happening around me. The calm of the water and the distance between me and land there's truly nothing like it. I actually agree. Their mission is to help out veterans through fishing and help them get on track with their benefits and they are entitled to by taking veterans on camping trips, fishing tournaments, fishing expos, and anything else they can provide. Matter of fact, the day Turtle, our brother Turtle, had his accident, Jacob was the first person I called. It was just easy. Called him up. Hey, this is what happened. This is what's going down. This is where he's at. You know, so in like I said, in other news, brother Turtle is going to be going to Atlanta first thing in the morning. Hang on one second. Okay. So y'all go check out Operation Tackle Box. Go in there and click donate now. You can actually, if you don't want to buy anything, you can just go in there and click on the donate thing, and it brings you to the next page. Enter your information. Sign up for their mailing. Let's see. I did it too. Sign up. Stay in touch. Sign up for their mailing events, their upcoming events, and more. Their fundraisers, all that. Go in there and click. Oh, well, I ain't going to do it. I've already done it before with foreverroadpodcast@gmail.com. Let's see. You can go in there and click shop now. I'll change over to that screen. Let y'all see some of the cool stuff that's there. Nope. Nope, that's not it. No. There we are. So you can go on here, apparel and accessories, long sleeve shirts, short sleeve shirts, hoodies, hats, t-shirts, like I said, long outerwear, stuff for the ladies. And there's a whole array of things. So y'all go check all that out. Yeah, and it actually 100% of the proceeds goes to their organization. They're not for profit at all. And it's not just it's not just one branch of the military. All combat veterans, all veterans, period. Army, Air Force, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard, maybe. I don't know. I'm just picking, but y'all go check those folks out, please. Y'all give Jacob. Y'all go on there. If you don't want to buy a new shirt, say you got enough hats. If you ain't got enough T-shirts or whatever, go on there and click donate. Just send them some money. They helped out Brother Turtle a lot, and like I said before, Jacob was the first person I called and let him know what was going on. You know, he was, I think at the time he was down in Florida on a fishing trip, but y'all go check them out. I hope to see y'all next week in the chats. We'll click on a little bit earlier. And if you got any, for real, any comments or whatever, click the like and subscribe. Give us a follow. Go on to Spotify, iHeartRadio. Click follow. Go into the little settings, the little gear thing right there, and click auto download. It really helps us out. Like and share this video to your friends and family, people that you don't even like. Tell them I said hey. And according to Marines Blood, we're going to be canceled after this episode. I don't know what in the world happened. Marines Blood over here being a bad influence on me. Him and Tyler both. But remember, you wake up every day, you look straight in the mirror. But anyway, okay. Just reading the chats. Y'all are over here talking about something. I don't know. Happy Mother's Day once again, Andrea, Brittany, Falk around to find out. My mom, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, devil dog. Uh-huh. Sure. Yeah, that's why it was the Marines that went into Alcatraz and took back the island after they after that riot back in the day, way back in the day. Yeah. It wasn't anybody else, was it? That's all right, man. I was raised by Marines. I don't care. That's probably why I'm as crazy as I am. Y'all think? Probably. You think so? Yeah. All right. But thank y'all for being in the chat. It means a whole lot to me, really. And Andrea, tell BC, yes, BC, not Brian. BC, I said woo, and that's 5 O's. You know what you mean. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great week. I will see y'all next week. I got a new outro if y'all want to listen to it. I think it's pretty cool. If I can find it, where'd it go? Y'all missed the new intro as well, but I got a new outro. Check this out.
Thanks for riding with us on the FRP, the Forever Road Podcast, with Bosco. You can find and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, or drop us a line or question anytime at foreverroadpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time right here on the Forever Road Podcast.
Yeah, what y'all think? What you think? We start the episode, then you can justify playing. Man, I ain't got that much time. I want to go play video games. I've already got 2 people waiting on me. Anyway, for real, if y'all are on, if anybody's on if anybody is on PlayStation Network or anything like that, find me at Bosco-1776 on the PlayStation Network. I'll play some. We play Call of Duty most of the time, so I don't know if anybody's into gaming or anything like that. I don't care. Find me, Bosco-1776 on PlayStation Network. But y'all have a fantastic week. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here again. We'll see y'all next time. Peace. Have a great week. Stay safe. For real. Stay safe. Marines blood out there influencing folks. Canceling folks. All right. Love y'all. Peace.